In Konoha, the opening game plays as Jikuni Yuanichi Chapter 301-325. Chapter 301. Hitaki Kusuo stood there, looking at Shari motionlessly. Just when the two's attacks were about to fall in front of Shari, Shari successfully used the defense. This time, the chakra formed a shield on Shari's body. After Shari's body was hit by this fierce attack, it immediately flew in one direction. But Shari did not suffer any physical damage. It seems that it is not so easy to merge the lightning shield and the water shield together. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that although the two were constantly cooperating, the strength of the real storm release was indeed 100 times different. But Hitaki Kusuo could also clearly feel the ninjutsu of these two people. After several cooperations, the fusion effect became more perfect. Don't let them cooperate more. They are cooperating more and more tacitly now. When Kusuo Hitaki discovered this scene, he suddenly felt something was wrong. Now these people who were resurrected by the impure world reincarnation are no longer like those before. When the two of them cooperate together, they can cooperate easily and perfectly. And they are more and more accurate in grasping the timing of the overlap of the two ninjutsu. If Orochimaru finds this, it will probably be troublesome. But Kusuo Hitaki didn't know that Orochimaru at this time had already taken a fancy to this ninjutsu. Only by letting these people who were resurrected by the impure world reincarnation be controlled by Orochimaru like puppets. In this way, they can appear very obediently in every place they ask to appear. And when these people fight each other, they can also become very tacit teammates. Okay, Master Hitaki Kusuo, don't worry, I'll take care of these people. Although Hitaki Kusuo heard Shari say this, he was still very worried about Shari in his heart. It seems that you are still a little too confident. After the voice of Ziguashan Puffer Ghost fell, he roared and rushed directly towards Shari's body. After the big sword Samahata hit Shari this time, a large part of Shari's chakra was immediately absorbed by the big sword Samahata. After the big sword Samahata successfully absorbed the chakra, the body size became larger. This Ziguashan Puffer Ghost is really difficult to deal with. The use of the big sword Samahata by the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost is more perfect than the use of the big sword Samahata by the Dry Style Ghost. Hitaki Kusuo also has some feelings for the talent of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost. It would be great if we could completely break the restraints on these people. Hitaki Kusuo also hoped to completely remove the impure world reincarnation technique from them. But Hitaki Kusuo also knew that at this moment, in addition to the impure world reincarnation technique, they also had a perfect puppet control technique. Hitaki Kusuo had tried it before in the Star Ninja Village. But this perfect puppet control technique was not so easy to break. At that time, based on the Star Shadow, the entire village, more than half of the people were all controlled. At this point, with the chakra lines on their bodies, Kusuo Hitaki could not break them. Even if Kusuo Hitaki went back to the chakra lines on their bodies, it would not take long for these chakra lines to be successfully restored. It is impossible that they do not have any weaknesses at all. Shari kept comforting himself in his heart. Even at this moment, he was very optimistic about the cooperation between Ziguashan Pufferfish Ghost and Kurochu Raiga. If these two people had not met me on the battlefield, I really hope to be able to accept these two people under my command. The reason why Kusuo Hitaki wanted to take these knives into his own hands was to make the Ghost Slayer in his hand. The combat strength of the team was equal to that of the seven of them. But the strength of these people is indeed a bit strong, not as easy to deal with as imagined. I don't know how long it will take Shari to win this battle. Kusuo Hitaki was not in a hurry to fight these people. It won't take long for Kuroko to come over. Even without Kuroko, Kusuo Hitaki's strength can easily kill the two. After a large part of Shari's chakra was sucked away, Shari immediately hid behind a big tree. I really didn't expect that just a touch could suck away so much chakra. Just when Shari was about to recover his chakra, a huge chakra shell rushed to where Shari was. With a loud bang, a big tree that originally required 3 people to hug was directly blown to pieces. After the thick fog, a red shield blocked Shari. Shari was panting behind the shield. Just at the most critical moment just now, Shari mobilized all the chakra in his body. A shield condensed by chakra appeared in front of Shari, absorbing all the impact of the shell just now. Rain. Chapter 302. Kusuo Hitaki also nodded in approval when he saw this. Shari's combat experience is much better than before. Shari would never hear such words. With Kusuo Hitaki's personality, he would only praise Shari silently behind his back when he was not around. It seems that there is not much chakra left in your body. If you have so much chakra, then I will take it all. The watermelon mountain puffer ghost swung the big sword Samahata in his hand and smashed it heavily in front of the chakra shield set up by Shari. Shari quickly let go of it when he saw it. At the moment when Shari let go, all the chakra in the chakra shield was completely absorbed by the big sword Samahata. At this moment, there was not much chakra left in Shari's body. Only the fishy fragments in Shari's body were constantly absorbing chakra in the air. Kusuo Hitaki used his transparent world to check the remaining chakra in Shari's body. Except for a star-like purple chakra, there was almost no chakra left in the flame at this moment, but at this critical moment, Shari pulled out a dart from his back. 3 darts were thrown at Ziguashan Puffer Ghost's face in an instant. Ziguashan Puffer Ghost waved his hand, and the big knife Samahata in his hand easily knocked all the darts away. Now you don't even have the strength to escape, and can only rely on throwing these little toys. Ziguashan Puffer Ghost called the darts thrown by Shari a toy with contempt. After hearing this, Shari frowned. This time, Shari couldn't use the detonating talisman. Then try this one. This time, Shari pulled out 2 shurikens from his back. The shurikens stabbed at Ziguashan Puffer Ghost's body. What happened to Shari today? Why didn't you use another force in your body? Before this, Hitaki Kusuo was worried that once the power of the star in Shari's body was used up, there would be no way to replenish it. However, Kusuo Hitaki did not realize that the star fragments in Shari's body could actually help Shari restore his chakra. Kusuo Hitaki looked down at the star fragments he had obtained with Shari some time ago, and a smile appeared on his lips. It seems that you are really hardworking. I will never rely on the power of stars. Shari gritted his teeth, endured the pain in his body, and pulled out a shuriken from behind him. Because Shari did not use the power of the stars in his body, and this chakra was not a common chakra. So now even the big sword Samahata in the hands of the watermelon mountain puffer ghost has no way to directly absorb this power from Shari's body. Now there is very little chakra left in your body, just wait for death. After the voice of Kurochu Raiga fell, a lightning bolt struck from a distance. Shari's body was immediately directly flown up by the lightning electrons, but at the critical moment, Shari still used his last bit of chakra to protect his heart. This prevented the attack from hitting Shari's body directly. Not bad, the reaction speed is quite fast. I am satisfied with such an opponent. Now Heichu Leia looked at Shari without any fear in his eyes. If it was at the beginning at that time, Kurochu Raiga was very worried about the ninjutsu that Shari used. But now, Shari no longer has any chakra in his body. It is only a matter of time to kill Shari. Maybe it is because there is not such a strong flame nearby, so the speed of the chakra recovery in Shari's body is not as fast as before. Hitaki Kusuo also remembered that in a previous battle, Shari's chakra was also used up. But it didn't take long for Shari to recover all the chakra in his body. But at this moment, Shari had no way to use such a strong force. Even after such a long time, the only thing Shari could rely on now was the shuriken in his hand. If this little Kuroko doesn't come again, Shari will probably not be able to hold on. Hitaki Kusuo laughed secretly. But Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that the place where Kuroko gathered their lovers was not far away. We have been fighting for a long time today. Now I can give you a decent death. After you die, the Hitaki Kusuo who was with you before will come to find you. Kuroho Raiga said this and took out the Radoga in his hand. A strong lightning instantly appeared on the bottle cap. You are just bragging here. Shari quickly threw the shuriken in his hand. Kuroho Raiga held the Raidouga in his hand with confidence and blocked both shurikens. Chapter 303. At the moment when the shuriken touched the Raidouga, Shari immediately shouted, "Explode!" Instantly, a strong explosive force directly blew the Raidouga in Kuroho Raiga's hand out. Kuroho Raiga's two hands were also directly blown off. After the explosion, Hitaki Kusuo observed Kuroho Raiga's body at close range. Blue chakra instantly appeared at the position of the broken hand. The two hands that had been broken before have grown out again. How could it be made of chakra? Didn't he use white zetsu to revive him? Hitaki Kusuo then realized that they were not the same people who were revived by white zetsu in the original book. The ninjutsu used by Shari and the others are similar to yours. Hitaki Kusuo then realized that Orochimaru had already obtained the star at the beginning. I really didn't expect that he had already started to attack from that time. Lord Kusuo, please retreat. After Shari said this, he immediately began to seal his hands. Fire escape. Great fireball technique. What surprised Hitaki Kusuo was that the sofa in Shari's body, which had been depleted, suddenly recovered a lot. What's going on? Hitaki Kusuo then unexpectedly discovered that the area around Shari was exactly where the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon used the big sword Samahata to attack just now. There are scattered flame chakras everywhere. It seems that the water mist in this forest is too thick, so the recovery speed of chakra in the body is so slow. Fire escape. I really didn't expect that he could recover so much chakra in such a short time. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost immediately took a few steps back and looked at Kuroki Raiga cautiously. A scornful smile appeared at the corner of Kuroki Raiga's mouth. Don't worry, it's just this little ninjutsu. I don't believe that with her current strength, she can continue to fight with us for how long. In Kuroki Raiga's eyes, there was no one behind Shari to support his chakra at this moment. But Zigwashan Puffer Ghost and Kuroki Raiga were different. There was a huge amount of chakra behind them to support them. It seems that if we enter a round-robin battle, Shari will not have much advantage now. While Hitaki Kusuo was worried about Shari, he also blamed Kuroko for why he spent so much time and still didn't get here. If you need help, you can always call me. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Shari did not refuse immediately. Shari was also very clear that her current physical condition was very weak. But until the last moment, Shari did not want Hitaki Kusuo to help her personally. Hitaki Kusuo stood in place, one hand gently placed on his sword. Hitaki Kusuo's test of Shari has now exceeded his expectations. I can still hold on for a while. Shari gritted his teeth and took out a shuriken from his hand. Hitaki Kusuo did not speak, but just looked at Shari quietly. Let's join forces while he is weak. I estimate that he can only hold on to our attacks twice more. In this battle, Kurochu Raiga was calmer than Zigwashan Pufferfish Ghost. Zero request flowers, how do we do it together this time? The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was already a little afraid of Shari from the bottom of his heart. The fire escape used by Shari could burn all the ninjutsu performed by the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost in a very short time, completely. You still use the Water Dragon Bullet to attack from the front. At that time, I will directly use my own lightning escape from the side to cooperate with you. After hearing what Heichu Leia said, Zigwashan Puffer Ghost nodded. Water escape. Water Dragon Bullet technique. A huge water dragon suddenly condensed out of the forest. The huge water dragon bullet roared and hit the direction where Shari was. Lightning escape. Earth escape. Lightning condensed from all directions again. Under the attack of the water dragon bullet, the lightning was instantly absorbed into the water dragon bullet. Peacock magic. Shari's hands quickly formed seals, but Shari found that there was no more fire chakra in his body. Looking at the water dragon bullet rushing towards him in front of him, Shari clenched his hands tightly together and quickly pulled out a shuriken tied with a detonating talisman from behind him. Explode. The detonating talisman was instantly thrown towards the water dragon bomb that was attacking in front of him. The powerful explosion instantly blew up the entire water dragon bomb, but the lightning hidden in the water dragon bomb all attacked the front. Shari. Just when Shari was about to give up, he suddenly heard a voice calling him. All the lightning was stopped. A tall figure appeared in front of Shari. Chapter 304. Kuroko. Shari looked at Kuroko in front of him with a puzzled look. I'm so sorry for being late. I almost put you in danger. Kuroko held a knife in his hand. And all the lightning just now was cut off by Kuroko's knife. I didn't expect that I would need someone to help me in the end. Shari's eyes revealed a trace of sadness. But when Kuroko appeared, the black hoe behind him had already rushed towards Shari. Lightning release. Reikiri. After hearing this voice, Kuroko's eyes also showed a trace of surprise. Master Hitaki Kusuo, how can he also do this? But Hitaki Kusuo spread his hands helplessly. It should be that Orochimaru gave them all the ninjutsu he collected. Hitaki Kusuo had a new understanding of these people that Orochimaru had summoned through the impure world reincarnation technique. Their bodies can now withstand ninjutsu of a different series than the ninjutsu they used before. And the chakra in their bodies has been constantly replenished. As for what Hitaki Kusuo said, Kuroko had already understood some of it before. In fact, these people are so powerful that if you want to kill them, it seems that you need to kill them all at once. Kuroko shook the knife in his hand. Let me help you in the next battle. Kuroko turned his head and looked at Shari who was standing beside him. A trace of blood was still flowing from the corner of Shari's mouth. You have helped me a lot just now. Now I can kill them both by my own strength. I know there is another power in your body. Why don't you use that power? Kuroko's eyes were fixed on Shari. Before that, the child had discovered that in addition to the power of fire, Shari also had the purple chakra. And the power exerted by that power is 100 times stronger than the power of fire. After hearing what Kuroko said, Shari hesitated for a long time before speaking slowly. That power is not something that ordinary people can control. I don't want to use it until the critical moment. Kuroko lowered his eyes after hearing that. But Kuroko looked at Shari's injuries and felt a little distressed. If you really can't do it, I think you can still use that power. After all, you can only win easily by relying on that power. But when Shari heard Kuroko's suggestion, he still shook his head gently. It's not the critical moment to use this power yet. When Hitaki Kusuo saw this scene, he nodded happily. Being able to say goodbye to this ninjutsu that he relied on in such a short time, it seems that he still has some prospects. After joining the Demon Slayer Corps in the future, I think I should be able to develop my own world. I will go up and deal with the two of them by myself. You don't have to intervene before the last critical moment. After hearing this, Kuroko immediately took the knife in his hand and stepped back a few steps. But at this moment, Zigwashin Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Raiga looked at Kuroko Zero who had just rushed over with caution. It seems that he is really an extraordinary person. I didn't expect that he has learned to find someone to help at this time. Don't think that you can successfully escape by finding a few people at this time. Although Kuroko just relied on his own strength to easily block all the lightning of Kurochu Raiga. But the amount of chakra used by Kurochu Raiga is not much. Neither of them has much chakra in their bodies right now. If they want to attack, now is a good time. After saying this, Shari immediately rushed towards Kurochu Raiga and Zigwashin Pufferfish. Fire escape. Great fireball technique. When Shari said this, he immediately threw out the two detonating tags in his hand. Explode. Boom. At the moment of the flame explosion, the two detonating tags exploded at the same time. I really should study the super explosive clay used by Deidara. Hitaki Kusuo muttered to himself. The moves Shari used in the battle now are almost the same as those used by Deidara at the beginning. It's just that Shari can now use his peacock magic to manipulate his chakra. And the peacock magic can defend and attack at will. This is a lot better than Deidara who could only use explosions at the beginning. If there is a chance, it seems that I should study what method Deidara used at the beginning, so that he could make so many explosive clays. But at this time, Shari's body did not have the power that Deidara had at the beginning. Chapter 305. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that such a thing could not be rushed for the time being. I have thought of a good way that can allow you to attack them directly in a short time. After hearing what Kuroko said, Shari looked at Kuroko excitedly. If you really have any good ideas, tell me quickly. Kuroko took a shuriken in his hand. You can also use your peacock magic to hide the detonating tag in your chakra. In this way, when you throw the shuriken directly, you can throw the detonating tag directly in front of them. Shari looked at the shuriken in his hand, and then looked at the Watermelon Mountain River 06 pig demon standing in front of him. Shari now has some understanding of the strength of the big sword Samahata used by the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon. If Shari fights with the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon at this time, it will also cause considerable damage to Shari. I think you can still try the suggestion I just gave you. After all, we don't have any other good ideas except this one. Shari didn't have much chakra in her body at the moment. If this action really fails, it will be a very dangerous thing for Shari. Since you have proposed this method, I will try it later. After hearing Shari's words, Kuroko was slightly moved. After such a long time, Kuroko has always been very concerned about Shari's safety. Otherwise, I will help you. Kuroko still couldn't help wanting to help Shari. But just when Kuroko was about to leave, Hitaki Kusuo appeared beside Kuroko and stretched out his hand to stop him. Leave this matter to Shari alone. This is also a test for Shari. If Shari really has no way to deal with these two people, then you can help. After saying this, Hitaki Kusuo's figure instantly disappeared here and returned to the tree in the distance. After hearing this, Kuroko clenched his hands tightly. Although the child really wanted to help Shari himself, with what Hitaki Kusuo said, Kuroko had to follow Hitaki Kusuo's request. You don't have to worry too much. Let me deal with these two people. I have fought with them several times before, so I have some experience. Shari saw the confusion in Kuroko's eyes at a glance. It seems that you are really a pair of unfortunate couples. You are still in the mood to talk about this at this time. After Kurochu Raiga finished speaking, a lightning bolt struck Shari directly. Peacock Magic. Defense. A shield appeared in front of Shari in an instant. Shari used this shield to block all the lightning attacks. Just after the lightning was successfully blocked, a shuriken was instantly thrown forward. The thunder blade in Kurochu Raiga's hand was swung out instantly, and Kurochu Raiga planned to use the thunder blade in his hand to directly chop the shuriken out. But when Lei Daoya touched the sword in his hand, the lightning power contained in Lei Daoya directly blended with the fire power on the shuriken. Explode. Just after Shari finished saying this, a violent explosion instantly appeared between Lei Daoya and Heichu Lei Ya. Heichu Lei Ya's hands were instantly blown off, and the two Lei Daoya in his hands immediately fell to the ground. Shari's figure instantly rushed forward, and just as Shari was about to reach out to pick up the two big swords Samahata, a huge water dragon bomb fell from the sky. Don't think it's so easy to take things away from me again. You must leave all these knives here for me today. Ziguashan Puffer Ghost also knew very well in his heart that if these two knives were thrown in front of him, then the probability of failure of this operation today would be too great. And the losses in this battle were very serious. It was not something that Ziguashan Puffer Ghost could easily bear alone. It is as expected. In front of everyone, blue chakra began to appear at the wound of Kurochu Raiga. The chakra gradually formed a new arm. Woman. You are dreaming to take these two knives from my hands so easily. Kurochu Raiga tried his newly recovered hands. It seems that they are much more difficult to deal with than the opponents we met last time. Kurochu was also meeting such an opponent for the first time, and was a little surprised at their ability to recover. Don't worry, even if they recover faster, I will definitely find a way to kill them all here. Shari was still very confident in the strength of his attack. Lightning escape. Reikiri. A huge lightning bolt instantly attacked Shari again. Chapter 306. However, this time Shari did not dodge at all, but instead clenched the shuriken in his hand. Now, Kurochu Raiga also plans to kill Shari here in a short time. The momentum of this attack is much stronger than any previous attack. Kusuo Hitaki knew very well that the power of Ziguashan pufferfish and Kurochu Raiga was much stronger than the ordinary cage-level power. You get out of the way quickly. Seeing that Shari had no intention of dodging, Kuroko was actually a little anxious. Don't worry. There will be no problem. After saying this, Shari clenched the shuriken in his hand. After a loud bang, the powerful shock wave instantly knocked down several large trees around. Shari. Kuroko rushed out regardless of everything. But right in the center of the smoke, Kuroko found that Shari was unscathed. However, the lightning just now did not attack Shari's body at all. How could this happen? You took on such a strong attack just now. Even if Kuroko went to face Kuroko head-on, he could not guarantee that he could easily resolve all the attacks. But Shari waved the shuriken in his hand. A trace of red chakra appeared on the shuriken. It seems that you really applied the method I just taught you to this actual combat diaresis. Kuroko knew very well that with Shari's peacock magic, he could use a shield to block the lightning attacks. If the peacock magic is covered on a shuriken, in addition to the attack power being much stronger, the defense power will actually be greatly improved. Although you can successfully repel him now, you must still be more careful. Kuroko knew very well that the attack power of the two of them was definitely not so easy to deal with. Don't worry, just leave it to me. After Shari said this, he rushed towards Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Heichuleya again. The shuriken was instantly thrown at the chests of the two. The powerful explosion instantly pushed the two back a few steps. I really didn't expect that Shari could actually strengthen his detonating talisman to this level. Even Kuroko was a little surprised now. If it's just two people, it's definitely not a problem for me. Hitaki Kusuo and Kuroko knew very well that Shari said this just to let them put it down. Water escape. Water dragon wall technique. A tall water escape instantly appeared in front of Ziguashan Puffer Ghost, and Shari's body blocked it directly with the water escape on his back. Lightning escape. Ground walk. Shari's whole body was instantly wrapped in lightning and was under the strong attack of lightning. Shari's body was pulled by the pain and kept shaking. Kuroko, who saw this scene, clenched his hands tightly. Kuroko also knew very well that all this was just a test for Shari at the moment. A person's full strength can only be fully activated in adversity. Don't worry, leave it to Shari, there will be absolutely no problem. This guy doesn't have Kuroko's copper head world like Hitaki Kusuo, but Hitaki Kusuo can clearly feel the changes in Shari's body in the ordinary world. The fragments in Shari's body are constantly absorbing the power in the air into his body. And at this moment, the chakra in Shari's body is also beginning to recover. Now Shari's body has begun to recover continuously. It won't take long for the chakra in Shari's body to recover to its perfect state. After hearing this, Kuroko looked at Shari who was occupying the road in the air with an unbelievable look. Shari's body still has these injuries, and Shari's mouth is still hanging from the blood just now. Under such circumstances, even Kuroko is not sure whether Shari can successfully withstand the joint attack of the two. Fire escape. Great fireball technique. Just when Kuroko was worried about Shari, a huge fireball appeared instantly. The thick mist in the air was evaporated by the fireball, Qian Wangjiao. I told you before that Shari's fighting ability is far beyond our imagination. Now that you see this scene, you should believe it. This time, after hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Kuroko just nodded blankly. I really didn't expect that Shari could exert such a powerful force. Before this, I never dared to imagine that Shari could be so strong. It's just some women who dare to use the flames in their hands against us. At this point, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost finally got a little anxious and immediately used the big knife Samahata in his hand to try to absorb all the flames. Toilet. Chapter 307. But just when the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was about to absorb these flames, Shari shouted. Explode. Instantly, a huge explosion surrounded the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost. How did you do it? After seeing this scene, Kuroko looked at Shari with a shocked face. With the current strength of Ziguashan Puffer and Kurochu Raiga, even if Kuroko took action himself, it would be a bit of a headache for Kuroko to deal with them. But he did not expect that Ziguashan Puffer would be defeated by Shari's attack. When I took action just now, I added all the detonating tags into the chakra. So when Ziguashan Puffer absorbed my chakra, it would naturally absorb all the detonating tags onto the big sword Samahata in his hand. After hearing this, Kuroko immediately gave Shari a look of approval. As expected of someone personally selected by Hitaki Kusuo, he was able to think of such a good idea in such a short time during the battle. After the huge explosion, Ziguashan Puffer held the big sword Samahata in one hand and slowly walked out of the explosion. Woman, you have successfully angered me. Water escape. Water dragon bullet technique. Lightning release. Reikiri. Lightning release. Earth walk. Mist hidden technique. In just a few seconds, Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Raiga performed many ninjutsu at the same time. Hurry up and get out of the way. If you don't get out of the way, it will be too late. Kuroko immediately rushed to Shari and pulled her out. At the moment Shari was pulled away, a huge shock wave directly hit the place where Shari had just stood. The strength of these two people has now reached the level of Cage. The ninjutsu they used at the same time combined to create such a powerful attack is no weaker than the attack of a tailed beast. Shari, who dodged the fatal blow, gasped heavily. If it weren't for Kuroko's timely action, Shari would probably have died here now. Water release. Water link bullet technique. Just after Shari dodged, several water hoses immediately hit Shari's position. Before Shari could react, Heizi on the side immediately drew out his knife and blocked all the attacks. You'd better hide aside, and let me deal with these two people. With your current strength, I'm afraid you can't kill them. Even Heizi has seen that the cooperation between the two has become more and more tacit, and the strength of the attack is also very strong. After performing the mist hiding technique, the whole forest has begun to be filled with thick fog. Now the forest is full of thick fog. If you take action at this time, you are likely to be caught by the two of them. It's better for you to hide behind me first and let me handle the rest of the things. Kuroko put one hand gently on Shari's shoulder, but Shari reached out and gently put Kuroko's hand down. I know what you mean, but these two people should be dealt with by me after all. Even if you are stronger than me, I believe that killing them will also increase my combat experience. Kuroko's hands were tightly clenched together. At this moment, Kuroko looked at the injuries on Shari's body and became more and more angry. But now, except for Hitaki Kusuo, even Shari refused his help. Don't worry, you have to believe that Shari has the absolute strength to deal with them. Just when Kuroko was about to take action, Hitaki Kusuo suddenly appeared beside Kuroko. Just a while ago, I discovered that Shari had a magical power in his body. If Shari really exerts this power in the battle later, then Shari will be the strongest person in our Demon Slayer Corps in the future. This time, Kuroko looked at Hitaki Kusuo with some surprise. With the strength that Shari has shown so far, he can only be regarded as the last one in the Demon Slayer Corps. There are always new fragments in Shari's blood, and the biggest feature of the star fragments is that they can absorb the surrounding chakra. Shari himself has fire chakra. After practicing star chakra, he has new power. Kuroko has also felt some of the power that Hitaki Kusuo mentioned before. It's just that for such a long time, Kuroko has never heard Shari use this power, so he naturally has some concerns about this power. Don't worry, Shari must have a number when using this power. After saying this, Hitaki Kusuo left Kuroko's side directly. Instead, he chose a suitable angle to look at the entire battle scene. I'm still a little worried about Shari. Although after the previous battles, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost is now there are still some injuries on his body that have not recovered. Chapter 308. But Ziguashan Puffer Ghost still tightly grasped the big sword Samahata in his hand. After experiencing the strong explosion, there are now traces of black burns on the tip of the teeth. And the barbs of the big sword Samahata are also constantly burning with flames. It seems that Shari not only added detonating tags to Chakota, but also the chakra released by Shari has the ability to explode. Now Kuroko has also discovered the secret of the trick that Shari just performed. I have told you before that you don't have to worry about so many things about Shari. Shari must have his own way to solve these injuries. But Hitaki Kusuo was also very surprised. Now Shari has controlled his explosive ability more perfectly, which is almost the same as the power used by Deidara. I now have a new understanding of Shari's land. Kuroko finally put his mind at ease and put down the knife in his hand. Now let's work together to kill this damn guy. Lord Kabuto Yakushi has urged me from behind. After hearing what Ziguashan Puffer Ghost said, Kurochu Raiga frowned. It's easy to say, but this guy in front of me is not so easy to deal with, and I really don't know how to kill Shari directly in a short time. Although Kurochu Raiga was resurrected by the Impure World reincarnation, the current Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Raiga have their own inner thoughts. However, one thing that is different from the original work that Hitaki Kusuo has seen is that the current Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Enterprise are loyal to him. It seems to be a warrior trained by himself. It's not easy for you and me to deal with such an opponent. It seems that we should think of other ways. Kuroko looked up at the enemy in front of him. Peacock magic. After Shari roared, his whole body suddenly ignited with blue chakra. Why is it blue chakra? Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Raiga looked at Shari in shock. It is indeed like this. After seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo nodded with a look of relief. Before this, Hitaki Kusuo had already discovered that the fragments of the stars in Shari's body could not only absorb the chakra of fire. It could also absorb other chakras. Are you sure Shari can use this chakra to avoid this attack? At this moment, Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Raiga had already rushed over waving their big swords Samahata and Reidouga. Kuroko looked at Hitaki Kusuo with a worried look, and then looked at the suit who was rushing out with the shuriken. Don't worry, with Shari's strength, there is absolutely no problem in dealing with these small things. Sure enough, just after Tu said this, the shuriken in Shari's hand instantly appeared blue chakra. Water escape. Water dragon bullet technique. After hearing Shari's words, Ziguashan Puffer Ghost immediately frowned and quickly formed seals with both hands. Water escape. Water dragon bullet technique. But what Ziguashan Puffer Ghost didn't expect was that after the two huge water dragon bullets collided, they actually made a shocking burst in the air. Zero, please give me flowers. How could this happen? Ziguashan Puffer Ghost couldn't believe what he saw in front of him. This woman used fire chakra before, why is she using water chakra now? Ziguashan Puffer Ghost rushed out with his manual sword Samahata in disbelief. But the moment Shari's body, which lived on Yakion Avenue, was sucked out of her body. Shari also retreated quickly and calmly. But the chakra that was completely sucked out of Shari's body was restored to its original state after a short period of time. What's wrong with this person? Heichu Leia was shocked to see the thunder blade in Shari's hand collide with each other immediately. Thunder escape. Reikiri. The power of lightning instantly passed through the mist in the forest and hit Shari's position accurately. Peacock magic. Defense. A blue shield instantly appeared in front of Shari. The powerful lightning struck the shield and exploded in all directions. However, Shari's body was not hurt at all by Zaliban. Sure enough, he can control this chakra. It seems that the power in his body is still very abundant. With Ziguashan Puffer Demon and Kurochu Raiga, his lover's chakra is used as a supplement. Shari no longer has to worry about his chakra being drained. This time, Orochimaru should be very successful. Hitaki Kusuo looked at Kurochu Raiga and Ziguashan Puffer Demon with a smug look on his face. Chapter 309. Now, Shari no longer has to worry about the chakra in his body. It's not enough. On the contrary, all the chakra absorbed by the big sword Samahata in the hands of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon was emitted from the body of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon. It seems that this round-robin battle will end soon. After seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo finally felt relieved. You have nothing to do here, take these knives first. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Kuroko stared blankly at Shari who was fighting. Aren't there two more knives there? Why don't you steal them together? After getting them, you can leave in a hurry. Kuroko knew very well that he was actually a little worried about Shari's safety. I will keep these 2 knives for the time being. You take all the other knives back first. There should be someone chasing you along the way, so you must be careful. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Kuroko's eyes suddenly showed a hint of surprise. We are members of the Demon Slayer Corps. How could anyone dare to attack us easily? Kuroko knew very well that even if the other party added the name of the Demon Slayer Corps, he should not attack them easily just because of Hitaki Kusuo. The current situation is different. You can do whatever you are told. Hurry up and send all these knives to Moriki Ibiki. Kuroko nodded quickly, took the knives in Hitaki Kusuo's hand, and walked directly in another direction. Before leaving, Kuroko looked at Shari reluctantly. Shari, you must protect yourself well. If you really encounter danger, you can ask Hitaki Kusuo for help. Hitaki Kusuo responded to the challenge and looked back at Kuroko. Are you going to leave now? Shari looked at Kuroko, holding the knives behind him, and immediately understood. Hitaki Kusuo asked me to send these knives back first. Shari just nodded and immediately turned back to respond to the challenge. Don't underestimate us. We still have the guy who's about to leave. Put down everything you have. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost found out that Kuroko was going to take the knives away, so he came to make a fire immediately. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Leia had originally received the task assigned by the amnesty, which was to recover all the lost knife heads. But they didn't expect that not only the 2 lost knives were not recovered, but now all the knives were going to be thrown away. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Leia also had their own minds. Naturally, they knew that if they couldn't complete the task, they would most likely be released from the impure world reincarnation technique by Orochimaru after they returned. I don't want to lose my new life so easily. Kurochu Leia gritted his teeth and rushed directly to Kuroko with a pole in one hand. Thunder Escape. Thunder Dragon Technique. The lightning instantly turned into a roaring dragon and hit Kuroko. Shari suddenly appeared in front of Kuroko with a flash. Water-style Water Dragon Bullet Technique. 2 huge Water Dragon bullets were fired in the opposite direction. The amount of chakra Shari used this time was extremely huge. The roaring dragon instantly absorbed all the lightning. The lightning roared and hit Zigwashan Puffer Ghost and Heichu Leia under the counterattack of the Water Dragon Bullet. Asshole. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost picked up the big knife Samahata in his hand and absorbed all the flying thunder power 0. If you only absorb this power, it's not enough. Water style. Water continuous bullet technique. Dozens of water balls were instantly fired at Zigwashan Puffer Ghost. Now is your best chance to escape, why don't you leave? Shari turned his head and glanced at Kuroko. At this moment, Shari also looked exhausted. I can't stand such an attack for too long. Take your things and leave quickly. Kuroko gritted his teeth and turned around and rushed out. After a few jumps, Kuroko's figure instantly disappeared in the forest. It seems that your teammates have left here. Kuroko looked at Shari cautiously, with a strong murderous look in his eyes. If you can call him back and let him return the knife in his hand to me, I can still spare his life. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Kuroko's body immediately burst out with strong lightning power. Even dark clouds have begun to appear in the sky, and the power of lightning is also mixed in the dark clouds. Now this Kuroko should be ready to do his best. Water Escape. Water Dragon. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost quickly formed seals with his hands, and several giant dragons transformed from water slowly fell from the sky. After seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo frowned immediately. This kind of ninjutsu has never been seen by Kusuo Hitaki in the original work. Ah! The water dragon in the sky, mixed with thunder and lightning, slowly rushed towards Shari. 4 Dragon Sealing Technique. Chapter 310. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost put his hands together instantly. A powerful sealing force instantly enveloped the 4 positions around Shari, forming a square formation. Shari's body was also covered at the same time. Fire Escape. Fire Link. Bullet Technique. Several huge flames rushed into the air in an instant. But when the flames touched the edge, even the flames were instantly burned. Huh. Shari frowned and looked up at the sky. Zigwashan Puffer Ghost held Samahata in one hand and looked at Shari with a smug look on his face. Master Kusuo. Step back a little. Shari put his hands together and shouted. Ha! Suddenly, a strong chakra burst out from Shari's body. Water style. Water dragon wall technique. The water dragon wall completely surrounded Shari's body. Ah! Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Shari injected their chakra into their own ninjutsu at the same time. The high temperature of the water dragon wall around Shari made a sizzling sound. Let's see how long you can hold on. The watermelon mountain puffer ghost looked at Shari with a smug look on his face. Through the chakra line behind him, other chakra can be injected into his body. It seems that Orochimaru should have tried his best to get these swords now. But what Hitaki Kusuo didn't know was that after Orochimaru lost all the ninja swords of the Mizukage would not consider cooperating with Orochimaru. If we can fully learn the number of people Orochimaru has now, we can make a group of death guards for the Demon Slayer Corps to cooperate with the actions of the Demon Slayer Corps. The opponents Shari encountered in these battles were only the 7 ninja swordsmen of the past, if the one resurrected by Orochimaru was a cage-level strongman of the past. Then in the battle, the number of people used by the opponent will be more powerful than the ninjutsu used now. For example, the first-generation Hokage, Senju Hashirama. Once he is successfully resurrected by Orochimaru this time, he will never regain his consciousness. After thinking about this, Kusuo Hitaki suddenly knew that the ninjutsu that Orochimaru had tried his best to steal at that time was so strange. However, according to Orochimaru's habit, it was normal for such a ninjutsu to be produced. I just don't know how Shari plans to deal with it this time. The mist around Shari was gradually decreasing under the burning seal. The watermelon mountain puffer ghost quickly put his hands together. The 4 fire dragons originally exchanged by the edict, now I have roared and rushed towards the body of the watermelon mountain puffer ghost. The temperature of the flames burned by the fire dragon's body is very high. The water dragon wall guarding Shari disappeared instantly under such high temperature burning. Kusuo Hitaki frowned when he saw this. Do you need my help? If Shari chooses to need Kusuo Hitaki's help at this time, Kusuo Hitaki will not refuse. Although Shari has the power of stars in her body, under such a fire attack, the amount of chakra in Shari's body must be able to keep up. Shari did not answer Kusuo Hitaki's question, but put his hands together. Water escape. Water flow wall. Kusuo Hitaki was stunned when he heard the number of people. Unlike the water dragon wall, the defense that appeared was a large amount of water surrounding Shari's body. And the water was still flowing. Even if he was dealing with several fire dragons rushing in front of him, the power of defense did not decrease at all. The hand gestures that Shari used just now were different from the hand gestures that he used before. In the original work, Kusuo Hitaki had seen the only person who used similar hand gestures, and that was Tobirama Senju. Ice Shari's strength now is strong as that of a cage. Kusuo Hitaki was a little happy in his heart at this scene, but also a little worried. If Shari could improve his strength to this level in such a short time, it would mean that all pedestrians could quickly improve their strength in a short time. Kusuo Hitaki knew best why the Uchiha clan chose to betray at that time. Hitaki Kusuo also understood why the Hokage at that time decided to order the massacre of the entire Uchiha clan. He looks like a perfect person. If such a person is made into a Jinchuriki, I wonder if his body can withstand the tailed beast Gen Wangjiao. A sneer came from Kurochu Raiga's mouth. Otherwise, you choose to join us. After hearing what Kurochu Raiga said, Shari snorted coldly. At the same time, 2 shurikens instantly flew towards Kurochu Raiga and Ziguashan Puffer Ghost. Don't you people dream of being able to trick me away from Hitaki Kusuo by relying on some trivial interests. Hitaki Kusuo is not only a lifesaver for Shari, but also because of Hitaki Kusuo, the entire Star Ninja village was saved. We have given you enough opportunities. If you don't cherish the opportunity, don't blame me when the time comes. Chapter 301. The several fire dragons surrounding Shari began to gradually close. Shari suddenly felt a strong pressure. Hitaki Kusuo frowned when he saw this. Shari's forehead began to sweat. Hitaki Kusuo could see that Shari was trying her best to resist the power of the seal. Hitaki Kusuo knew that every sealing technique must have a strong suppressive force. The Nine Tails was created because of Minato Namikaze. The Shiki sealing technique that was performed was then sealed into Naruto's body. Even someone as powerful as the Nine Tails could be sealed by someone else, so an ordinary person like Shari would definitely be strongly suppressed after encountering the sealed book. Especially now that the stealer used water style. On the contrary, Zigwashan Puffer Ghost used fire style. Not only were the two competing for points, they were actually competing for chakra in their bodies. If it had been the case before, the chakra in Shari's body would have been insufficient. But now Shari has begun to absorb the chakra in the bodies of Kurochu Raiga and Zigwashan Puffer Ghost. Lightning style. Earth style. While Shari and Zigwashan Puffer Ghost were fighting, a bolt of lightning was sealed from the thunder blade in Kurochu Raiga's hand. The huge lightning sprayed directly towards Shari's body. After a loud bang in the air, the lightning directly hit Shari's chest, and a mouthful of blood spurted out of Shari's mouth. But even so, Shari had no intention of giving up. Instead, he pushed his right foot back and stomped hard on the ground. The fire dragons surrounding Shari began to tighten, and the blue chakra protecting Shari on the back of Shari's body began to gradually become scarce. Shari like this may not be able to withstand this attack. Seeing now, even Hitaki Kusuo was a little worried about Shari's safety. Just when Hitaki Kusuo was about to attack, Shari suddenly shouted, "Water escape! Water rush wave!" After seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo was a little surprised. In the original work, there was no one else who could use this ninjutsu except Senju Tobarama. Suddenly, a tornado-like water appeared in front of Shari. The water began to gradually rise and rotate upwards. Just when the water rose to a certain height, it suddenly rushed towards a fire dragon in front of it. Just when the activity was about to resist, the water turned into a waterfall and gradually formed a big river. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that all this was because Shari was controlling it from behind. But just because of Shari's simple behavior, one of the fire dragons that had troubled Shari before was completely defeated. The moment the fire dragon was defeated, a gap in the seal suddenly appeared, and Shari's body immediately rushed out in the direction of the gap. It turns out that I have been accumulating power here for so long just to break the seal wall in one direction. Just after Hitaki Kusuo finished speaking, the three big walls that were originally sealed were instantly verified. The ground where Shari originally stood has now been turned into black land on the left and right. Fortunately, I dodged it, otherwise it seems that I would have been burned to ashes. After seeing the sealing power of the sealing technique, even Shari's heart was filled with fear. This sealing technique is a little different from the sealing techniques I have seen before. It is sealed by burning. After seeing Shari successfully escape his sealing technique, Zigwashan Puffer Ghost frowned. "Hey Chu Lei Ya, it's on your left hand." After hearing Zigwashan Puffer Ghost's words, Hey Chu Lei Ya rushed to Lei Dao Ya and chopped down. A powerful force immediately chopped towards Shari's body. Shari quickly took a step to the left and avoided the attack of lightning. Thunder escape. Thunder tiger kill. Hey Chu Lei Ya quickly formed a seal. A tiger transformed by lightning suddenly appeared. Shari was not afraid at all. Instead, he drew out a shuriken and tied a detonating talisman to the handle while in chaos. Go! According to Hey Chu Lei Ya's order, the tiger immediately rushed towards Shari's position. At the same time, Shari also came up with a shuriken. Ha! Roar! Shari and Menghu roared at the same time. The two collided instantly. Peacock magic. Defend. A solid protective shield quickly appeared around Shari. The lightning on Leihu was immediately blocked. Do you think you can stop me with just this thing? After Shari said this, Hey Chu Lei Ya was stunned for a moment. At the moment when Hey Chu Lei Ya's secret weapon was in sight, two shurikens tied with detonating talismans instantly flew out of Shari's hands. Explode. After a loud bang, Hey Chu Lei Ya's body was blown back a few steps. Chapter 312. Ziguashan Puffer Ghost. Run. But when Ziguashan Puffer Ghost heard He Chu Lei Ya's reminder, it was too late. Shari's body has rushed to the front of Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and He Chu Lei Ya. Peacock Magic. Fire Style. Phoenix Fire Technique. Water Style. Water Dragon Bullet Technique. Shari immediately used his Peacock Magic to summon 2 peacocks. Shari also has 2 different series of chakras in his body. The 2 peacocks summoned by Shari have different types of chakras. The peacocks summoned by Shari immediately sprayed fire and water from their mouths. Ordinary people live in OF course, he can use 2 different types of chakra at the same time. It seems that this person must be the type that Lord Orochimaru likes the most. The corner of the mouth of the Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Demon raised a satisfied smile. But after hearing this, Hitaki Kusuo frowned immediately. The Watermelon Mountain Pufferfish Demon and Black Ho Raiga have become Orochimaru's right-hand men at this time. Fire Escape. Phoenix Fire Technique. Fire was constantly spurting out of Shari's mouth. All these flames were absorbed by Shari when he was fighting with the fire dragon just now. Ah! The camera looked at Shari in front of him with an angry face, but the rich flames had been swallowing his body. Shari could clearly see with his naked eyes that the body of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was getting smaller and smaller. Under the strong attack of the flames, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost finally couldn't resist. Hitaki Kusuo used his transparent world and finally felt that the recovery speed of the chakra line behind the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was no longer as fast as Shari's attack speed. It seems that Shari has finally succeeded now. Hitaki Kusuo raised a satisfied smile at the corner of his mouth. It has taken a long time from the beginning of Shari to now. Hitaki Kusuo also knew very well that it was not easy for Shari to treat the 2 people in front of him easily. Black Ho Raiga, come and help me. At this time, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon had already picked up the big sword Samahata in his hand, and the big sword Samahata was constantly absorbing the power of the flame. Keep attacking, don't stop. Hitaki Kusuo reminded on the side. After adding Hitaki Kusuo's words, Shari immediately increased his output of chakra. The powerful flame rushed out of the peacock's mouth in an instant. Lightning Escape. Reikiri. The power of thunder and lightning was immediately exerted from the hands of Kurochu Raiga. But at this moment, Shari's strength has already exploded. Even if he was dealing with Kurochu Raiga's attack, Shari was still not afraid. Shari immediately made seals with both hands. Peacock Magic. Fire Escape. Big Fireball Technique. The peacock summoned by Shari immediately released a strong flame towards the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon. The body of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon had begun to melt gradually at this moment. Watermelon Mountain Puffer Demon. Kurochu Raiga tightly grasped the Raidouga in his hand. Thunder Release. Heavenly Curse Chidori. Hitaki Kusuo frowned immediately after hearing this ninjutsu. This ninjutsu was originally used by Sasuke in the Curse Seal state. Shari, be careful. Hearing Hitaki Kusuo's reminder, Shari quickly formed a seal again. Peacock Magic. 0 Please send flowers, defend. Swish. A sharp lightning sound suddenly sounded beside Shari. The shield that had just been summoned was immediately hit by a black lightning. Asshole. The shield was instantly shattered by the lightning. Hitaki Kusuo saw this and immediately tightly grasped the knife in his hand. Sure enough, the 4 Heavenly Curse Chidori is so different from the ordinary ninjutsu strength. Before this, Shari had relied on his peacock magic to catch Kuroki Raiga's Reikiri. However, the peacock magic with such strong defense was so vulnerable to the attack of the Heaven Curse Chidori. Come again. Let me see how you catch it. Kuroki Raiga roared, and a black Chidori immediately took shape in Kuroki Raiga's hand. Under Kuroki Raiga's rapid attack, it attacked Shari's body. Heaven Curse Chidori. Shari, pay attention to the attack behind you. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Shari turned around. I didn't expect that the one in front was just a clone. In fact, before hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Shari had already discovered the enemy rushing towards him. It was just that Shari didn't take it to heart at the time. The chakra in Shari's body could completely recreate the defensive shield of the peacock magic. Even if he encountered the frontal attack of Kuroki Raiga, Shari was not afraid at all. But what he didn't expect was that Kuroki Raiga actually used his cloned square cylinder to feint. Instead, the main body exerted the lightning chakra in his body to the extreme and attacked from the back. But when Shari heard what Hitaki Kusuo said, it was too late to dodge. Chapter 313. Hitaki Kusuo frowned when he saw this. After closing his eyes, Hitaki Kusuo could clearly feel it in his transparent world. The two chakra lines behind Kuroki Raiga, under this attack, the amount of chakra in one of the chakra lines was not much. Is it because the attack distance is too far? The other watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost is still under the attack of the summer fire, and keeps making wailing sounds. Hitaki Kusuo glanced at the watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost. The amount of chakra in the watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost is not much at the moment. It seems that the chakra in the watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost is about 870. There is no way to continue to support the damage his body has suffered. The amount of fire chakra in the body of the fire peacock summoned by Shari is indeed quite a lot. There is a clear difference between the two in the comparison of attacks. What are you going to do now? Shari no longer has any thoughts to reply to Hitaki Kusuo's words. Shari took out two shurikens from his hand. The shurikens were burning with fire chakra. Peacock magic. Shari tried his best to set up defense on his shuriken. But the attack at this time had already landed in front of Shari. In his transparent world, Hitaki Kusuo had clearly felt that the amount of chakra contained in Kurochu Raiga's attack this time was far more than the chakra in Shari's body. It seems that Orochimaru should be worried too. Quote, the original 7 ninja swordsmen now only have Kuroki Raiga left. Such a serious injury is not something that anyone can easily bear. I'll give you a hand. After saying this, Kusuo Hitaki immediately pulled out the sword in his hand. But Kusuo Hitaki did not cut Kuroki Raiga with this sword. Just when Kuroki Raiga's attack was about to fall on Shari, Kusuo Hitaki fiercely cut off the chakra line behind Kuroki Raiga with a sword. No. Kuroki Raiga let out a wail. The heaven curse Chidori in Kuroki Raiga's hand suddenly became smaller, and in the end it could even disappear. Huh. After seeing this scene, Shari was a little surprised. But Kusuo Hitaki was not surprised at all. The chakra in the body is originally provided by deep chakra clues. The amount of chakra used in this ninjutsu just now is very large. I cut off his chakra line, so this number is naturally invalid. After Hitaki Kusuo explained, Shari finally understood. But at this time, Kurochu Raiga, who was opposite Shari, quickly recovered his chakra. Even though the attack just now failed, Kurochu Raiga immediately took out the thunder blade from behind him. The thunder blade chopped the shuriken in Shari's hand fiercely. Shari's hands were immediately loosened by the lightning on the thunder blade. The shuriken fell to the ground immediately. Without the weapon in your hand, I wonder what you can use to fight me now. Heichu Lei-ya slashed at Shari's body fiercely. But Shari's body already had red chakra at this moment. The peacock magic blocked Heichu Lei-ya's attack in time 0. It was because of Shari's panic here that the flames on the Ziguashan puffer ghost dissipated a lot at this moment. The Ziguashan puffer ghost, which was already on the verge of extinction, actually had a glimmer of life at this moment. Keep it up. Hitaki Kusuo just said these 4 words lightly, and then continued to watch the fight between the two. Kurochu Raiga saw that this attack was actually effective, so he naturally would not relax. The second attack soon fell on Shari. This time, Shari was not prepared as before, and was cut by Lei Dao-ya. Blood continued to flow slowly from the wound. Shari immediately turned his head and looked at the peacock that was spraying flames. The fire chakra contained in the peacock summoned by the peacock magic method was now almost gone. But because of the warmth of his own battle, the watermelon mountain puffer ghost actually had a little room for maneuver at this moment. Shari immediately checked with both hands, and the chakra in the peacock began to recover continuously at this time. But the shoes behind him immediately caught during these few gaps. A knife fiercely stabbed behind Shari. Shari stood there for a while, but she did not give up. The chakra that had been exhausted in the peacock was replenished again. Seeing this, the black Ho Lei Ya on the side immediately pinched the Lei Dao Ya in his hand. Lightning began to appear on Lei Dao Ya, but Shari was not afraid of the damage on his body. Fire escape. Phoenix Fairy Fire Technique. Several flames suddenly spurted out of Shari's mouth and flew towards Ziguashan Puffer Ghost. Chapter 314. At this time, Ziguashan Puffer Ghost's hands had been burned by the strong flames. The great sword Samahata had fallen to the ground, but at this moment, the great sword Samahata could no longer absorb the chakra of the flames. Hitaki Kusuo saw this and immediately showed a satisfied expression. Shari immediately turned around and used the shuriken in his hand to slash at the post next to him. "How is Shari?" I asked, and Shari was stretching out one hand to cover the wound on his body. Hitaki Kusuo could also see that Shari was also seriously injured at this time. Lightning release. Reikiri. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Shari and Kurochu Raiga used ninjutsu at the same time, but they attacked each other. Shari's ninjutsu immediately flew towards Ziguashan Puffer Ghost, but Ziguashan Puffer 06 Ghost had no room to turn around. The rich flames finally burned the chakra line behind Ziguashan Puffer Ghost. Yin's body swayed a few times in the dense flames, and finally knelt on the ground. At this moment, the peacock in the sky began to gradually disappear. It seems that Shari has reached his last moment. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that Shari had tried his best to participate in this battle. If it were the past, Shari would have been unable to fight at this time. But today's Shari can actually hold on until now, which is also a great improvement for Shari. Huh. Shari looked at his body in surprise. When he heard Kurochu Raiga use ninjutsu just now, Shari was ready to die. But the loud lightning stopped behind him. What's going on? Shari immediately looked back with a surprised look. He saw that Kurochu Raiga's body was still behind him, but Kurochu Raiga's hand had been chopped to other positions by Hitaki Kusuo. Hitaki Kusuo raised his leg and kicked the body of the Shu through the wall. How dare you come out and make trouble? Kurochu Raiga slowly stood up from the deep pit beside him. Hitaki Kusuo's kick just now was without any reservation. If it weren't for the fact that Kurochu Raiga could recover from his injuries in a short time, this kick alone would have been enough to kill Kurochu Raiga. Shari is at least one of my apprentices. If you attack Shari, I will naturally not let you go. Kurochu Raiga frowned after hearing this. I don't know what's going on with this Hitaki Kusuo. The battle between the two has obviously lasted for a while. But this Hitaki Kusuo just came out now to intervene. But Kizi didn't say anything more, because Kurochu Raiga knew very well that Hitaki Kusuo's strength was by no means easy to deal with. Master Hitaki Kusuo, leave this guy to me. Shari behind him wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and immediately clenched the shuriken in his hand. Anyway, this man should have been my enemy, so it's only natural that I should deal with him. After Shari finished saying this, he flashed and rushed out, stabbing the shuriken in his hand towards Kuroki Raiga's throat. Kuroki Raiga's broken arm immediately raised up, and when Shari was about to arrive in front of Kuroki Raiga, a hand grew back from the wound cut by Hitaki Kusuo. Hitaki Kusuo was not surprised by such an amazing recovery ability. Although this time when Kuroki Raiga recovered from his wound, he did not use chakra to recover from his injuries like before. But Swotu was also very clear that the chakra line behind Kuroki Raiga had become much smaller at this moment. This battle has been going on for a while. In addition, Ziguashan Pufferfish and Kuroki Raiga often use ninjutsu that does not belong to them. In the original work, ordinary impure world rebirth can make these people recover. But it is also very limited, and can only use the ninjutsu they used in their lifetime. If you use a ninjutsu that does not belong to your own body, you need to use your own deep chakra line to replenish the chakra. Just now, the dense flames in the whole forest have consumed the chakra of Kabuto Yakushi and others. Now, Kuroki Raiga no longer has enough chakra to consume with Shari. Are you going to beat me with physical skills? It's just a dream. Kuroki Raiga's punch hit Shari's chest hard, and Shari was hit and spurted out a mouthful of blood. It seems that Shari's physical skills are still a little weak. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, ordinary people would definitely want to punch Hitaki Kusuo hard. After all, the person opposite Hitaki Kusuo at this moment is Kuroki Raiga. The prosecution of Kuroki Raiga and others is already very powerful. If it were before, few people could fight with them at close range. But Hitaki Kusuo actually asked Shari to fight with Kuroki Raiga at close range. Chapter 315. The broken hand of Kurochu Raiga healed quickly. This white Zetsu is much stronger than I thought. Kurochu Raiga stretched out his hand, and the thunder blade fang that fell to the ground beside him immediately returned to Kurochu Raiga's hand. Thunder release. Earth walk. Several lightning bolts immediately blasted towards Shari's body from the ground. The amount of chakra in Shari's body was not much to begin with, and after being attacked by lightning, he was immediately struck by lightning and took 2 steps back. Thunder release. Double thunder shock. 2 lightning bolts immediately flew out of the thunder blade fang in Kurochu Raiga's hand. Seeing this, Hitaki Kusuo was about to draw his sword, only to see 2 shurikens flying out of Shari's hand. Explosion. The explosive force resisted part of the lightning attack, but Shari still suppressed most of the lightning damage. After the thick fog of the explosion dissipated, Shari's body slowly fell to the ground. Hitaki Kusuo frowned when he saw the blackened wounds on Shari's body burned by lightning. Just when he was about to pull out the sword in his hand, the sword of Kurochu Raiga had already arrived in front of Shari. Die. Just when the sword was about to hit Shari, Shari's hand immediately moved, and the sword Jachin was in Shari's hand at this moment. The moment when the big sword Samahata and the thunder blade lay together. A lot of lightning chakra on the thunder blade was immediately absorbed. Even the strength of this big sword Samahata can be controlled. It seems that Shari is really a good fighter with fighting talent. This big sword Samahata was not a weapon in Shari's hand. At that time, only the 8-tailed Jinchuriki could control the strength of this big sword Samahata. You killed the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost and dared to use the weapon of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost to deal with me. You people are really too much. The 2 thunder blades in the hands of the Black Ho Thunder Blade immediately chopped towards Shari's body. But at this time, the big sword Samahata in Shari's hand did not fall into a disadvantage at all. Hitaki Kusuo, who saw this scene, immediately put away the knife in his hand slowly. At this time, Kuroki Raiga and Shari were equally strong, so there was no need for Kusuo Hitaki to attack. Kusuo Hitaki had already seen that this guy was down and now only the last one in front of him should not be in his hand. After the attack, Kuroki Raiga's body was no longer able to make progress with Shari at close range. The chakra recovery speed in Shari's body was very fast. If it weren't for the chakra line behind Kuroki Raiga to provide chakra, the chakra in Kuroki Raiga's body would have been used up long ago. Next, it depends on how you deal with this guy. Kusuo Hitaki muttered to himself while watching the 2 fight. Don't think you can fight me to the same level with this weapon in your hand. After Kuroki Raiga said this, he deliberately glanced at Kusuo Hitaki standing in the distance. At this time, Kusuo Hitaki was watching the fight between the 2 with a leisurely look on his face. Kurochu Raiga didn't say anything, and immediately picked up the thunder blade in his hand and chopped towards Shari. Being able to launch an attack so calmly, it seems that this person should have left some tricks. Hitaki Kusuo thought of this and immediately closed his eyes. But within a few kilometers, Hitaki Kusuo Tong and his transparent world did not find any enemies. Could it be the knife in Shari's hand? Hitaki Kusuo immediately thought of the Hoshigaki ghost, and the same was hidden in this knife. Could it be that the Watermelon Mountain Puffer ghost just now is not dead? Sure enough, just after Hitaki Kusuo finished this sentence, a familiar figure rushed out from the big knife Samahata. Backquote Sure enough. Watermelon Mountain Puffer ghost punched Shari's face fiercely. After a successful attack, Watermelon Mountain Puffer ghost took the opportunity to snatch the big knife Samahata from Shari's hand. The big sword Samahata still contains the lightning chakra that has just been absorbed. Samahata. The big sword Samahata in the hands of Ziguashan Puffer Ghost immediately poured out all the lightning power that had just been absorbed. Under the attack of Ziguashan Puffer Ghost, Shari was beaten back step by step. It seems that today's battle is worth watching. Hitaki Kusuo still has no intention of being anxious. The Enterprise son Qian Zhao's on the side is also working with Ziguashan Puffer Ghost to hit Shari's body. Fire escape. Phoenix Fairy Fire Technique. At this time, Ziguashan Puffer Ghost did not have any chakra in his body. When Shari used this number, Ziguashan Puffer Ghost immediately threw away the big sword Samahata in his hand. The big sword Samahata began to continuously absorb the fire chakra in Shari's mouth. Shari output all the chakra in his body under this attack. After losing the chakra in his body, Shari leaned against a big tree, panting. I want to see if you have any ability to continue fighting with me. Chapter 316. After seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo had a new understanding of Kurochu Raiga and Ziguashan Puffer Ghost Lover. These two people are much more difficult to deal with than I thought. Hitaki Kusuo knew in his heart that with Shari's strength, he should have done his best to deal with these two. It seems that I should do it myself. The moment Shari was about to draw his sword, Shari's body was suddenly surrounded by a strong chakra. Peacock Magic. Thunder Release. Chidori. After hearing this voice, Hitaki Kusuo immediately had a new understanding of Shari. It can actually absorb all the chakra around me. This guy can actually absorb the chakra in my body. It seems that we should work together. Mist Hiding Technique. The bodies of Ziguashan Pufferfish Ghost and Kurochu Raiga suddenly disappeared from the spot. The whole forest was suddenly filled with thick fog again. Now it depends on what method he uses to find these two people. Sure enough, after Hitaki Kusuo finished speaking, Shari also closed his eyes. Shari is using the chakra around him to sense the other party's existence. Shari has merged his body with all the chakra in the entire forest. It seems that I have found you too. A scornful smile suddenly appeared at the corner of Shari's mouth. At the same time, a strong fire suddenly burned in the whole forest, the flames of the fire. Ah! A scream came from the place that was just burned by the fire. Water escape. Water Dragon Bullet Technique. A huge water dragon rushed out from the flames in an instant. After experiencing the burning of the flames just now, the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was no longer worried about the flames. The big sword Samahata in the hands of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost had already absorbed the chakra of the flames. But before the huge fire dragon rushed to Shari, Shari immediately formed seals with both hands. Explode. The big sword Samahata instantly burst into a very strong flame. Awake. A scream came from the forest. Hitaki Kusuo could clearly see with his transparent world that one of the hands of the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost had been completely burned. It seems that this battle will not last too long. Hitaki Kusuo could feel that the power in the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost was gradually decreasing. In addition, the chakra lines behind Ziguashan Puffer Ghost and Kurochu Raiga have begun to become looser and looser. Shari and the others are now much weaker than before. This is the most perfect time for them on the plane. Okay, Master Hitaki Kusuo, I'll go now. After Shari finished speaking, he immediately picked up a shuriken in his hand and rushed towards the two people. Ziguashan Puffer Ghost. Die. After Shari roared, a huge peacock appeared in his sky. Is it necessary to seal now if you want to perform this ninjutsu? Hitaki Kusuo was a little surprised at Shari's growth during this period of time. Because some people were also seen in Hitaki Kusuo's original work. Their strength is generally because they are particularly strong, so there is no need to test them when they are in actual combat ninjutsu. Just like the second generation Hokage can casually perform water escape ninjutsu in a place without water. But the Shari in front of us is not the second Hokage after all. If this is the second Hokage, then everything will make sense. Hitaki Kusuo knows Shari very well. Although Shari is now a cage, this cage is only the cage of a small village after all. People like this generally don't have any big characteristics. However, I never thought that Shari's reality could grow so fast. A strong flame burst out from a place in front of him in an instant, accompanied by Shari's roar. The watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost screamed, followed by the sound of a big knife falling to the ground. Fire escape. Phoenix fire technique. After hearing the sound of Shari releasing fire escape, Hitaki Kusuo understood immediately. Before this, Shari had suffered this loss once, and now Shari had no intention of suffering a second loss. When Hitaki Kusuo was looking for Kurochu Raiga, Shari's body instantly appeared in front of Hitaki Kusuo. Shari was holding a big sword in his hand, which was the same big sword Samahata. I have already got one of the swords. Give this sword to the other sword first, and I will take it away now. After hearing Shari's words, Hitaki Kusuo just stretched out his hand and took the sword. Shari was quite satisfied with his performance in the battle in which he just killed the watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost. Chapter 317. Hitaki Kusuo knew that it would not take long for the other Black Ho Raiga to be killed by Shari. There is only one person left, which should be a lot easier for you. After Hitaki Kusuo finished speaking, Shari immediately asked about the shuriken in his hand. Don't worry. Master Hitaki Kusuo, I will definitely kill him. Shari's body instantly disappeared from the spot, and a huge collision sound suddenly appeared not far from the two of them. Without the help of the watermelon mountain puffer ghost, the power of lightning is not that strong when Black Ho Raiga really does something. Thunder release. Reikiri. A huge lightning bolt instantly struck out from the forest towards the two of them. Shari's body had dodged. The lightning bolt struck directly towards the position where Hitaki Kusuo was standing. It's just a lightning bolt like this, but you dare to hit me back. It seems that you are really overestimating yourself. Hitaki Kusuo stretched out his left hand and easily took off all the lightning bolts. I really underestimated this person just now. Black Ho Raiga clenched his hands tightly together. In the battle just now, they not only lost a brand new sword, but also the life of the watermelon mountain puffer ghost. If Orochimaru knew about this matter in the end, Orochimaru would definitely hold Black Ho Raiga accountable in the end. Kurochu Raiga quickly formed seals with his hands, and a huge lightning bolt instantly struck down from the sky. The power of this lightning bolt is much stronger than the previous one, so don't go over to meet it. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Shari still stood there. After seeing this scene, Kusuo Hitaki frowned immediately, but he didn't say anything else. Shari and Kusuo Hitaki have been in contact for a long time, so now Kusuo Hitaki knows very well that if Shari is not sure of his strength, he will never take on this attack. Can Shari take on this attack? Sure enough, a huge peacock suddenly appeared in front of Shari. In fact, it is very familiar to Kusuo Hitaki. This is the peacock magic that Shari often uses. Are you going to use this peacock for defense? Kusuo Hitaki is much stronger than Shari, so he can clearly feel that the defense ability contained in this peacock is not enough to withstand this attack. If you want to use this thing to resist the lightning, it seems that Shari is probably crazy. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that if Shari did this not for defense, it was very likely to rebound this force to other places. Peacock magic. Suck. After hearing the last word, except for Kuroki Raiga, even Hitaki Kusuo was obviously shocked. Could it be that Shari did this to absorb all the power of these illegal buildings? Hitaki Kusuo squinted his eyes and looked at Shari flying in the air. Shari's body has conquered a very rich chakra. Zero, please give me flowers. But Hitaki Kusuo could clearly feel the water, fire, and lightning chakra fused in this chakra. These chakras should be the power of all the chakras in Shari's body fused together. Hitaki Kusuo could also judge by the number of these chakras. At this moment, there is no chakra in Shari's body. The peacock that appeared in front of Shari in the sky gradually became huge. And this peacock seemed to have a much stronger defense than the fear defense that Shari had summoned before. Zero. Boom. The lightning in the sky instantly struck the peacock summoned by Shari. Since you want to fight me head-on, I'll make you say it more miserable. At this moment, Heichu has injected all his strength into the lightning just now. The lightning that was originally whistling in the air has become much thicker at this moment. It seems that this time it is really troublesome. I don't know if Shari can withstand this lightning attack. Hitaki Kusuo has already placed one hand on his knife. If Shari can't withstand the damage of these lightning, Hitaki Kusuo is ready to block all the aftermath for Shari. Peacock Magic. Defense. Crack. The lightning instantly struck the peacock. The peacock, which originally looked extremely strong, suddenly showed several obvious powerful forces. After seeing Li Han appear, even Shari's eyes became a lot more nervous. At this moment, Heichu stood still, but his hands kept making seals, making the lightning in the air more powerful. Chapter 318. I want to see how long you can hold on. Heichu knew very well that this attack should be unbearable for Shari. But now the peacock in front of Shari looked very difficult. No matter how strong the defense of this peacock you summoned is, I can smash it to pieces. Ha! Heichu once again injected all the chakra in his body into the lightning in the sky. The lightning was constantly covering the peacock, and more cracks appeared on the peacock. But the chakra around the peacock had begun to rush into the cracks. Every crack covered by chakra will gradually recover. No wonder Shari summoned all the chakra in his body just now, it turned out to be to restore all the defense of this peacock. But Hitaki Kusuo didn't know why Shari had to use his defense to take on Kuroki Raiga's all-out attack in this battle. Do you think this is the end? Kuroki Raiga's mouth immediately raised two contemptuous smiles. Hitaki Kusuo turned his head and looked at Kuroki Raiga, not knowing what new tricks Kuroki Raiga was going to use now. Go, Raiga. After Kuroki Raiga said this, he immediately threw the Raiga in both of his hands out. Raiga cut through the air, making a sharp sound, and instantly flew to the lightning in the sky. With the addition of Raiga, the lightning that was originally obtained was now like a roaring dragon. It seems that he intends to integrate all the chakra in this thunder blade fang into this lightning. Shari's forehead began to sweat. It took all of Shari's strength to take on this lightning attack. Kong. Conk. A wonderful method. Shari's voice had been gradually getting smaller, but at the end Shari lowered his teeth and, or roared out those two words. Two very sharp bright spots appeared in the lightning in the sky. Although Kusuo Hitaki did not take the attack of the lightning now, he could feel that the position of the two bright spots actually revealed a trace of power that surprised him. Shari, you quickly dodged these two attacks. Kusuo Hitaki's body instantly rushed to Shari's position, but when Kusuo Hitaki had not touched Shari's body, two light lotuses had already rushed down from the lightning. The attacks of these two families were 100 times stronger than any previous attack. When one of the bright spots hit the peacock, the whole peacock's body instantly came with a strong breaking sound. Kusuo Hitaki looked up and saw that it was this attack that had almost smashed the peacock that Shari had just summoned. However, the other light source rushed straight to Shari's chest. Breath of the Sun. Kusuo Hitaki immediately pulled out the knife in his hand, the moment Hitaki Kusuo swung his sword. A defensive wall formed by the blade appeared in front of him. The light spot hit Hitaki Kusuo's sword, and Hitaki Kusuo's body instantly retreated 2 steps. After waiting for the attack to end, Tulu saw clearly that the one that had just chopped on his sword was one of the Thunder Blades 0. Now there is no other defense around Shari, but the lightning in the sky is still roaring. Since you have killed the Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost, you will die here. In any case, if Kurochu Raiga can kill Shari now, he will have a reason to explain to Orochimaru. Ah! Shari's hands quickly formed seals, and the lightning power that had just struck the peacock appeared in front of Shari. Peacock Magic. After Shari waved his hand, the peacock in the air immediately flew towards Kurochu Raiga's body. Moreover, the peacock also contains a very powerful thunder and lightning force. How could this happen? Black Hole Leia was shocked when he saw this scene, and then he reacted. It turned out that when the thunder and lightning struck just now, Shari never bounced the power of the thunder and lightning to any place. Although the peacock's body was constantly covered with scars, the peacock did absorb all the power of the thunder and lightning into its body. So that's it. Although Black Hole-ya had realized this scene, it was too late at this moment. The peacock full of power in the air had already flown towards Black Hole-ya's body. Explode. After a loud bang, the whole sky was instantly filled with thunder and lightning. The peacock just now not only exerted a powerful explosive force when it exploded, but also the explosion of thunder and lightning, and the aftermath also shattered the surrounding area with sparks everywhere. Chapter 319. Shari is a very talented person who can exert the power of lightning to the present state. Hitaki Kusuo had to admit. Shari's improvement speed is indeed fast enough. Shari. Yes, Lord Kusuo. You have got one of the swords now. The other one, Readaloud, is not so easy to get now. Hitaki Kusuo looked at the figure in the sky. I haven't figured out how to get this sword in my hand yet. After the attack just now, Shari had absorbed all the power of lightning in the sky into her body. Shari stretched out a hand, and indeed there was lightning chakra flowing on her palm. 06, now she has no chakra in her body. I guess if he wants to do it again, it should take some time. After these battles, Shari also had some basic understanding of the strength of Kuroku Raiga. The chakra in Kuroki Raiga's body is provided by a chakra line behind Kuroki Raiga. Without this chakra line, Kuroki Raiga's chakra provider would not be able to fight for such a long time. Not many people can absorb the surrounding chakra easily with their own body like you. This is also an advantage for you in this battle. After hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Shari stretched out his hand. Sure enough, in this forest, there are chakras of various powers at this moment. Now our most important thing is to kill this chess piece first, and after taking the knife in his hand, we can proceed to our next task. Shari's heart is also very clear. Hitaki Kusuo just wants Shari to take these knives into his hands, but Shari has wasted a long time on this matter. I'm sorry, Master Hitaki Kusuo, I may have wasted too much time. Shari looked at Hitaki Kusuo apologetically, but Hitaki Kusuo waved his hand. You don't have to say these things. From now on, I will hand over my own Demon Slayer Corps to you, and you just need to help me train them well. Shari knew very well that Kuroko was a member of the Demon Slayer Corps. Therefore, Shari also knew very well that the strength of this Demon Slayer Corps would be very strong. Master Hitaki Kusuo, handing such a team to me, isn't it a bit too? Before Shari finished speaking, Hitaki Kusuo immediately reached out to stop her. I hand these people over to you because I trust your strength, and you don't have to refuse these things from me anymore. As long as you can lead them well, I will be satisfied. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that if Shari wanted to lead those people, they would definitely not give in easily. It seems that I really need to put in some thought at that time. Master Hitaki Kusuo, what did you just say? After hearing Shari's words, Hitaki Kusuo quickly shook his head. It's okay, hurry up and take the knife in his hand to me. Just when Hitaki Kusuo finished speaking, a huge lightning bolt struck from the sky. After consuming so much chakra, it only took such a short time to recover. Even Shari was a little surprised at the speed at which Kuroki Raiga recovered chakra. But Shari knew it very well. If Kuroki Raiga is not killed when he lacks chakra, Kuroki Raiga must be an opponent with endless troubles. If you want to do it, go now. The chakra in his body should not be much recovered. After Shari said this, he immediately took out a shuriken and rushed out. Hitaki Kusuo looked at Shari's back and muttered silently in his heart. If you can find a suitable knife for him and give it to Shari, it will be perfect for Shari. After these few battles, Hitaki Kusuo has discovered a pattern. Shari is a person who likes to use knives very much. Samahata is very suitable for Shari. Shari's body can absorb chakra. If you give this big sword Samahata to Shari, she can absorb the opponent's chakra more easily in the battle. After several battles, Hitaki Kusuo has discovered that Shari's ability to absorb chakra is very strong. Moreover, Shari can also use her own chakra to make explosive attacks. In this case, if such a sword is given to Shari's fighting ability can be greatly improved. Now let Shari take this sword and fight once to try. After saying this, Hitaki Kusuo immediately stopped Shari who was fighting. Shari. Don't worry about Kuroki Raiga for now. Come here first. Chapter 320. Although Shari and Kuroki Raiga were fighting, after hearing what Hitaki Kusuo said, Shari still poured all his strength into it. Shari beat Kurochu Raiga without any chance to fight back. What's wrong, Master Hitaki Kusuo? Shari came to Master Hitaki Kusuo with a pious look on his face. I'll give you this sword now. Fight with it once and let me see. After taking the sword from Master Hitaki Kusuo, Shari was a little surprised. The sword was the big sword Samahata that Master Hitaki Kusuo had just obtained. Master Hitaki Kusuo, didn't you just get this sword? Shari knew very well how important this sword was to Master Hitaki Kusuo. But Master Hitaki Kusuo shook his head and put the sword in Shari's hand. I'll give it to you now. I want to know how much strength you can exert with it. Shari knew a lot about the big sword Samahata. Because Shari had fought with him before, Shari naturally knew that this big sword Samahata could easily absorb the opponent's chakra and convert it into his own use. I will give this sword to you now, I hope you can use it well. After Shari took over the big sword Samahata, he immediately waved the big sword Samahata in his hand and held the big sword Raiga in his hand. But when Raiga saw the big sword Samahata in Shari's hand, he frowned immediately. This sword does not belong to you. After Raiga said this, the strength in his hand increased instantly. But even if he met such an opponent, Shari was not afraid at all. Anyway, this sword is now in my hand, and you can't take it back from me. Shari knew very well that this sword now belonged to Kusuo Hitaki. Shari would never lose Kusuo Hitaki's head. Whether you can keep this knife in your hand depends on your strength. From my point of view, it may be difficult with your current strength. Sure enough, after Heichu Leia finished speaking, a huge lightning bolt struck fiercely from the sky. Immediately stretched out the big knife Samahata in his hand to resist the power of lightning, and instantly resolved a lot with the help of everyone, but even so, the big knife Samahata could not absorb all the power of lightning in such a short time. Shari's body was instantly blasted back a distance by the power of lightning. I wonder if you still have the strength to continue to compete with me. After the lightning just passed, Heichule Yaya's figure appeared in front of Shari again. The thunder blade Ya in Kurochu Raiga's hand immediately chopped towards the great blade Samahata. The great blade Samahata in Shari's hand was constantly absorbing the power of lightning into the great blade Samahata. Before this, Shari had used this method before. Shari frowned immediately, frowning his brows. You don't want to use the limit of this knife's absorption to destroy it. Shari squinted his eyes and looked at Kurochu Raiga in front of him. After hearing this, Kurochu Raiga just sneered. So even if this knife is completely destroyed by me in the end, Lord Orochimaru will definitely not blame me. Hitaki Kusuo, who was standing aside, almost laughed after hearing what Kurochu Raiga said. Based on Hitaki Kusuo's understanding of Orochimaru, if this knife was destroyed by him, maybe Orochimaru would immediately end his impure world reincarnation when he returned. Master Hitaki Kusuo's sword may not be able to withstand so much chakra. Shari frowned and looked at the big sword Samahata in his hand. And it has already absorbed a lot of chakra. If it weren't for Shari's body being able to absorb chakra, I'm afraid the sword would have been blown to pieces by now. If you can't absorb so much chakra, you can return all the chakra to him. When Shari heard Hitaki Kusuo's suggestion, he was stunned at first, and then a wicked smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. So that's how it is. I didn't react at the beginning. Shari suddenly exerted force with both hands, and a powerful force of lightning instantly burst out from the big sword Samahata. Kurochu Raiga, who was confronting the big sword Samahata head-on, also retreated 2 steps because of the powerful force of lightning. I never thought that this ordinary big sword Samahata could contain so much chakra. Now Shari finally understood why Hitaki Kusuo gave him this sword. The chakra that this big sword Samahata can absorb is far more than the amount of chakra in Shari's body. The reason why this sword did not exert its full power in the hands of others is because their bodies cannot withstand so much chakra. Now I have handed this sword to you, you must make good use of this sword and exert all your strength. Hitaki Kusuo looked at Shari with a heavy face. Don't worry, Master Hitaki Kusuo, I will never let you down. Chapter 321. Hitaki Kusuo completely agreed with what Shari said. You should still be careful of yourself. Although you are very strong now, you should not be able to control so much chakra. After Hitaki Kusuo said this, Shari's eyes suddenly dimmed a lot. It is indeed Lord Hitaki Kusuo. What Hitaki Kusuo said just now directly pointed out the biggest problem that Shari is facing now. Although Shari can sacrifice a lot of chakra in a short time. However, Shari is different from Kuroki Raiga in that Kuroki Raiga can control those chakras by himself, but Shari's body cannot bear it. With the help of the star fragments, Shari has already endured the 3 attribute chakra of water, fire and thunder. I know that your body has been greatly damaged under the side effects of multi-attribute chakra. Hitaki Kusuo's eyes were a little dim. Sure enough, it's still a little short. Shari's strength is still a little short of perfection. However, Hitaki Kusuo didn't want to force her. After all, when Naruto created the Rasenshuriken, Tsunade directly listed this ninjutsu as a forbidden technique and forbade him to use it again. The reason is that chakra will damage the meridians in the body. And it cannot be restored. For Kusuo Hitaki, Natsuhi is a rare capable general. He is also the most suitable leader of the Demon Slayer Corps in the future. No matter what, Kusuo Hitaki does not want Natsuhi to get into trouble. Take a rest. Leave this person to me. Kusuo Hitaki stretched out his hand and was about to stop Natsuhi, but Natsuhi took off his forehead protector directly. What are you going to do? Kusuo Hitaki looked at Natsuhi in confusion. Master Kusuo Hitaki. I am very grateful that you can save the Star Ninja Village from the water and fire. But I also know that if it weren't for you, there would definitely be no me now. After hearing this, Kusuo Hitaki was shocked at first, and then there was a trace of warmth in his eyes. So from today on, I will no longer use this forehead protector, and everything I have belongs to Master Kusuo Hitaki. Kusuo Hitaki was very surprised to hear Natsuhi's words. Because Kusuo Hitaki knew very well that a forehead protector is very important for a ninja. Even though Kusuo Hitaki pulled those people into his Demon Slayer Corps, he never asked them to betray his forehead protector. Leave the final battle to me today. No matter what the result is, I am willing to bear it all myself. A flash of lightning struck down from the sky where Shari's body disappeared in an instant. After a loud bang, the big sword Samahata in Shari's hand, the blue lightning mark is constantly flashing on the surface. It seems that all these chakras have been absorbed into his sword. The reason why Kusuo Hitaki said this is not because he feels sorry for the sword, but because he is very worried about Shari's safety. With Kusuo Hitaki's strength, he can clearly feel that Shari is now fighting with all his strength. But in such a battle, Shari's body is not as strong as that of Kuroki Raiga. Kuroki Raiga's body can be quickly recovered in a short time even if it encounters ordinary injuries under the strengthening of the impure world reincarnation. But the peacock magic used by Shari has never had any effect on the recovery of wounds. In such a comparison of the two's strength, Shari is slightly at a disadvantage. It seems that we can only compare who is stronger. If Shari can exert strong explosive power in a short time, maybe this battle can be easily won. Kusuo Hitaki has rich combat experience, so he can naturally find the winning skills in a short time. Peacock magic. Fire style. Phoenix fire technique. Great fireball technique. Shari immediately sent a large amount of flames into the sky. Each flame attack was very powerful. Seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that Shari was using the method of releasing ninjutsu to reduce the amount of chakra in his body. There is already so much chakra in the body. It is also a good idea to release some in this way now. Hitaki Kusuo knew very well that if a normal person had so much chakra in his body, the body of an ordinary person would naturally not be able to bear it. However, converting these chakras into powerful ninjutsu to attack, it would also cause considerable damage to Kuroki Raiga. Sure enough, under the attack of these ninjutsu of Shari, Kuroki Raiga's body began to show some scars. It seems that Shari's method has begun to work. Hitaki Kusuo immediately changed his angle to observe the battle. Two flames began to appear on Shari's hands. Water escape technique. Water dragon wall technique. Fire escape technique. Great fire extinguishing. Chapter 322. Are you planning to use two flames to attack the water dragon wall at the same time, and then fill the entire forest with water vapor? Hitaki Kusuo narrowed his eyes and looked at Shari in front of him. Sure enough, Shari threw both flames in his hands on the water dragon wall. Hitaki Kusuo was very clear about the fire escape technique that Shari used this time. In the original work, this ninjutsu was used by Uchiha Madara. The effect of the flames from the attack is naturally beyond doubt. In just a few seconds, the entire forest was filled with rich water vapor. Kuroho Raiga is from the land of water. When encountering such water mist, Kuroho Raiga will naturally take advantage of it. It seems that if Kuroho Raiga wants to get close to Shari, he will definitely pay a heavy price. Hitaki Kusuo knew that the temperature of the water mist was very high. If ordinary people come into contact with such mist, their skin will soon burn. I just don't know if this Kuroki Raiga can risk rushing over at this time. Hitaki Kusuo immediately turned his head to look at Shari. At this time, Shari was making seals with both hands, and I don't know what he was doing. However, there was no reaction in the forest. A peacock shape began to appear around Shari. However, Shari appeared on the forehead of the peacock. This move looks not much different from the moves of the Uchiha family, but I don't know what effect it has. Although Hitaki Kusuo was very excited after seeing this scene. But Hitaki Kusuo was still very clear that with Shari's strength, he naturally couldn't exert the defense of Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi. But after seeing this scene, Kuroki Raiga in the forest frowned. It seems that I really can't leave today. Kuroki Raiga knew that he had no way out now. The only way was to kill Shari in front of him. Otherwise, he would need to take back the big sword Samahata. However, for Kuroki Raiga, neither of these two things was easy to do. No matter what happens today, you must die here. After saying this, Kuroki Raiga flew towards Shari regardless of the high temperature in the forest. However, after seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo, who was standing aside, raised a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Sure enough, not long after, Kuroki Raiga's mouth uttered a series of screams. Although Kuroki Raiga could rely on his own recovery ability to recover from the injuries he suffered. However, the damage caused by the high temperature to Kuroki Raiga needed to be borne by the Enterprise himself. Asshole, you actually used such a despicable trick on me, it's really too much. After Kuroki Raiga finished speaking, a shuriken immediately flew towards Kuroki Raiga's face. Because Kuroki Raiga's body was suffering from great pain, he didn't react for a while. The shuriken cut a wound on Kuroki Raiga's face. But what surprised Tutu was the problem is that the wound did not recover immediately in a short time. Hitaki Kusuo quickly focused all his attention on the wound of Kuroki Raiga. Sure enough, there was a trace of flame chakra on the injured part of Kuroki Raiga's face. These chakras, combined with the water in the air, are constantly burning Kuroki Raiga's skin. The mist and steam in the forest are also constantly attacking the injured part of Kuroki Raiga inward. 0 Please send flowers. Hitaki Kusuo I can clearly feel that although the Enterprise itself is recovering, the injuries have never stopped. Just when Kuroki Raiga was about to curse, a figure appeared in front of Kuroki Raiga. Shari held the big knife Samahata and slashed Kuroki Raiga's chest fiercely. For a moment, a wound appeared on Kuroki Raiga's chest, and blood continued to flow slowly from the wound. He actually used this method. It seems that he really has some ideas. Hitaki Kusuo was very surprised by the method that Shari came up with. Ah! Kuroho Raiga kept screaming, but Shari did not stop at all. Reikiri. Kuroho Raiga endured the pain on his body and sent out a reikiri. Finally, the water mist in the forest was cut open. Hitaki Kusuo was not too surprised by this scene. After all, Hitaki Kakashi used reikiri to split the lightning in the sky into two. Reikiri. When Kuroho Raiga just said this word, a shuriken was directly inserted into Kuroho Raiga's chest. Sure enough, the water mist in the whole forest still has some damage. If it weren't for the fact that Kuroho Raiga had already hidden in a place without water mist, the shuriken that Shari had just thrown out would almost kill Kuroki Raiga. But Shari was not nervous about this failure. It seems that the temperature in this forest is still not high enough. Let me add more fire to you. Fire escape. She. Chapter 323. Great Fireball Technique. Shari immediately turned his head and sprayed the flames in his mouth to every corner of the forest. The forest, which was already very hot, was blessed again. At this moment, the surrounding area was like a huge steamer. I just don't know if Kuroki Raiga can hold on. Hitaki Kusuo was also very clear in his heart. Now the chakra supply in Kuroki Raiga's body is much slower than at the beginning. The chakra in Yakushi Kabuto's body should not last too long. In the recent few times when Kuroki Raiga was injured, it was the 873 white zetsu in his body that recovered the injury, instead of Yakushi Kabuto. From this scene, Kusuo Hitaki can clearly judge that the plan of Orochimaru and his companions should be coming to an end. I hope Orochimaru will not let Kuroki Raiga make a final counterattack before he dies. Kusuo Hitaki knows very well that with Kuroki Raiga's strength, if he goes all out to fight, he will be a very difficult character to deal with. Shari, you have to be careful. If he fights back with all his strength, you should not attack him head-on. Kusuo Hitaki reminded. After hearing what Kusuo Hitaki said, Shari nodded gently, and then tightened the sword Samahata in his hand. The strength of this sword Samahata is really interesting. From the moment he started, Shari had already discovered that the power of the sword Samahata had sucked the chakra in Kuroki Raiga's body into his hands. Peacock Magic. Shari made seals with both hands. A flame immediately appeared around him. Extinguish the fire. Shari didn't give Kuroki Raiga any time to react. One attack not only burned the forest in front of him. At the same time, the temperature in the forest was also rising. If you continue to attack like this, Kuroki Raiga won't be able to hold on for much longer. Hitaki Kusuo raised a scornful smile at the corner of his mouth. Don't think of killing me here with such a despicable method. After Kuroki Raiga roared, his body rushed forward. At the moment when Kuroki Raiga rushed out, two lightning spots shot towards Shari's chest. Hitaki Kusuo frowned when he saw this, but the flame barrier in front of Shari took the two attacks. Are you still planning to use the same old tricks against me? They won't work now. Shari snorted coldly, and then the two flame barriers in front of Shari shattered like glass. But the two thunder blades were left in front of Shari. Now you don't have a knife, I wonder what other weapons you can use to fight me. After hearing Shari's words, Heichu Leia frowned. Do you want to take the knife in my hand? I tell you it's a daydream. Sure enough, after Kuroki Raiga finished speaking, two huge lightning bolts immediately appeared beside Shari. Before Shari reached out and took back the two knives flew straight into Kuroki Raiga's hands. Just when Shari was about to rush out, Hitaki Kusuo reached out and stopped Shari. These two knives still belong to him, and he is still the owner of these knives. Don't chase them at this time. It is very likely that this is his trap zero. Sure enough, just after Hitaki Kusuo finished speaking, Shari's feet were immediately struck by two huge lightning bolts. If it weren't for Hitaki Kusuo stopping Shari in time, the two lightning bolts would probably have killed Shari. If you had just rushed out, with your reaction ability, you should not have been able to use your own peacock magic to defend in such a short time. After Hitaki Kusuo finished speaking, Shari was also frightened and stood still, motionless. It is indeed as Hitaki Kusuo said just now. With Shari's reaction ability, she really can't use the peacock magic in her body to resist in such a short time. If that step just now really worked, Shari would have died here. Thank you, Hitaki Kusuo, for saving me. But after hearing this, Hitaki Kusuo just shook his head gently. You don't have to thank me for this kind of thing. Anyway, you and I are also considered to be in the same group. If you get hurt, it won't be good for me. Now Hitaki Kusuo naturally cherishes Shari very much. Hitaki Kusuo, let me take care of the rest of the battles. After hearing Shari's words, Hitaki Kusuo also immediately turned to the side. A lightning in the sky instantly struck Shari's body. Shari stretched out his hand and directly caught the lightning. Your lightning is nothing but this in front of me now. After hearing Shari's slightly sarcastic words, Kuroki Raiga frowned immediately. Chapter 324. The amount of chakra in Kuroki Raiga's body is not very much now. If you want to continue fighting under such an attack, it is not a long-term solution. Peacock magic. A very huge peacock suddenly appeared in the sky. Several lightning bolts from the peacock's mouth immediately struck Kuroki Raiga's body. 2 deep wounds immediately appeared on Kuroki Raiga's body. The high temperature in the forest immediately burned Kuroki Raiga's wounds. It seems that the chakra in Kuroki Raiga's body is not enough for Kuroki Raiga to recover from his injuries in a short time. After seeing this scene, Hitaki Kusuo raised a scornful smile at the corner of his mouth. This Shari has grown up very fast recently. Just when Kuroki Raiga was injured, Shari flashed behind Kuroki Raiga. Before Kuroki Raiga turned around, Shari took the big sword Samahata in his hand and slashed Kuroki Raiga's back fiercely. For a moment, Kuroki Raiga's back was also slashed with a deep wound. This time, Kuroki Raiga suddenly spurted out a mouthful of blood. So that's how it is. Hitaki Kusuo suddenly found that the 2 chakra threads behind Kuroki Raiga had been cut off by Shari's sword. The big sword Samahata can cut off chakra by itself, and it can naturally cut off this chakra line when it encounters this situation. Hitaki Kusuo smiled with satisfaction. How dare you take my... Kurohoji Raiga turned around and picked up the Radoga in his hand. Just as he was about to take a look, Shari took out his big sword Samahata and slashed it hard on Kurohoji Raiga's face again. You'd better die. After Shari roared, Kurohoji Raiga's body shook suddenly. After experiencing Shari's 2 knives just now, Kurohoji Raiga's body no longer has much chakra. This man's strength is really good. Hitaki Kusuo realized that Kurohoji Raiga was still defeated even though he had lost the support of chakra. But it seems that he can't hold on for long. After the knife just now, Kurohoji Raiga can no longer perform large-scale ninjutsu. Although Shari does not have the transparent world of Hitaki Kusuo, Shari can also feel that Kurohoji Raiga is no longer using the large-scale ninjutsu just now. Peacock magic. Fire style. Great fireball technique. A huge fireball spurted out of Shari's mouth and sprayed towards the location of Kurochu Raiga. Kurochu Raiga frowned and quickly took 2 steps back, but the speed of the flame immediately enveloped Kurochu Raiga's body. No. The fierce flame instantly devoured Kurochu Raiga's body. Kurochu Raiga, who lost the chakra replenishment, lost his life instantly in this attack. With a ping-pong sound, the 2 knives fell to the ground. After hearing the sound, Shari took back his tools. The flames gradually dissipated, and the temperature in the forest quickly dropped. Master Hitaki Kusuo, I have obtained these 2 Radauyas now, and I will give them to you. Shari immediately handed all the big knives in his hand, Samahata and Radaoya, to Hitaki Kusuo. This mission is over, let's keep going forward. Shari took a deep breath, and these people were finally dealt with. The few people sent by the Mizukage came to trouble us, and it seems that there may be some trouble waiting for us later. Hitaki Kusuo knew in his heart that this was just the beginning. After rushing for a whole day, the 2 stopped in a forest. It seems that there are many people in front of Master Hitaki Kusuo. At this moment, the amount of chakra in Shari's body is very rich, so he can naturally activate his peacock magic at any time. I know. Hitaki Kusuo can also feel that a competition should be going on not far away. And some of them look very familiar. It is those people from the Star Ninja Village. According to the map, the location ahead should be the Moon Country, which is still a distance away from where we want to go. We can go over and take a look. Hitaki Kusuo knew that no matter what, Shari was also a member of the Star Ninja Village. If the Star Ninja Village encountered problems here, Shari would definitely go over and choose to help. Okay, Master Hitaki Kusuo. Shari immediately used his peacock magic and added 2 huge wings behind him. With the flying speed of the wings, Shari's body instantly became much faster, and it didn't take long before he came to the place where he had just found the person. I saw a group of people here, fighting. This should be a competition venue. I just don't know why people from the Moon Country are here. Sure enough, after seeing the people from the Moon Country, Shari immediately passed his fist. Those people should be from the Sound Village. Chapter 325. Hitaki Kusuo can clearly judge the camps of several people through the guard towers on them. Those people in front should be from the Star Ninja Village. At this time, Kusuo Hitaki could clearly see that some people from the Star Ninja Village were being besieged by people from the Sound Ninja Village. Are you going to take action now? Kusuo Hitaki turned his head and looked at Shari, but Shari shook his head. In fact, when Shari came here, he could see that this should be a hidden fighting field. People who can come to such a place, if not for money, are for their own beliefs. It's just that some of the Star Ninja Village ninjas who came here are not strong enough. Do you have the heart to watch them get beaten here? Kusuo Hitaki didn't care about these people, but he knew that Shari had great pity for them. I'll watch here for a while, and I'll take action when I need to. After Shari finished speaking, his eyes were fixed on the fighting field. But Kusuo Hitaki on the side looked at Shari meaningfully. In the past period of time, Kusuo Hitaki had never seen Shari, who had such confidence. But at this moment, Shari could actually say such words, which was enough to prove the speed of Shari's growth in recent times. Fire escape. Big fireball technique. Several ninjas from the Star Ninja Village were immediately surrounded by the ninjas from the Sound Ninja Village. Under the attack of the Sound Ninja Village ninjas, the Star Ninja Village ninjas screamed. These are a bit too much. Shari punched the land beside him, and the huge rock was smashed to pieces in an instant. If you are angry, go now. Kusuo Hitaki glanced at Shari. In fact, Kusuo Hitaki did not agree with such a fight. But Shari still stood there, with his hands tightly clenched together, and had no intention of taking action. Let them gather together, and then use fire escape to kill them. After the Otogakur ninja said this, they immediately dispersed and gradually surrounded the Star Village ninja. Seeing this scene, Shari immediately took a step forward, but Shari still stood there and did not make a move. Shari knew very well that since the meteorite was taken away by Hitaki Kusuo, the strength of the entire Star Village was not very strong. There were not many ninjas who could occupy the road like Shari. Fire escape big fireball technique. When several Otogakur ninjas were about to perform ninjutsu, a huge water column appeared from top to bottom in the sky. Water escape water dragon wall technique. After seeing such a huge water dragon wall appear, everyone in the entire fighting field was shocked. It seems that he can't help it. When Hitaki Kusuo said this, Shari had already rushed towards the location of the fighting field. With the help of the peacock magic, Shari flew very fast. After Shari appeared, everyone in the whole scene was shocked. This woman is so arrogant, is she very powerful? I don't know, I can't feel it. It's really strange, why can't I feel this woman's cultivation? People were surprised, even the elders on the stage couldn't judge Shari's strength. Because Shari's strength has been hidden by Hitaki Kusuo. So they couldn't sense it. You people in the Sound Village, hurry up and let them go. If you don't blame me for killing you all. Shari stretched out her hand and took the people who were in the middle. Several Star Ninja Village ninjas in the room all floated up. All of these people had very serious injuries. It can be seen that they were also greatly injured after this battle. Ha. Beauty, you are quite humorous. Ha ha ha. When the Sound Ninja Long Zan finished speaking, the whole audience laughed. Really? Then I'll see if you have the qualifications. After Shari finished speaking, she flew down from the flag. Like a fairy from the sky, her dress fluttered, she slowly landed, her toes gently touched the ground, and slowly stood firm. I represent the Star Ninja Village and come up to fight. Shari said lightly. To participate in the Ninja Village competition, you must be a Ninja Village ninja. Are you a Star Ninja Village ninja? Long Zan asked. Shari smiled, spread her hands, and with a whoosh, a forehead protector appeared in her hand. Qian Jiao Jiao. Although Shari had put it away before, this forehead protector can still be easily taken out. Star Ninja Village Ninja Forehead Protector, no fake. Shari said. What's going on? This beauty is actually a ninja from Star Ninja Village, but I have been here for almost 2 years, why haven't I seen her? Is she a new ninja? Fuck. I didn't expect that there is such a beautiful ninja village ninja in our bear country, why don't I know about it? The Star Ninja Village ninja exclaimed and turned around. Shari has been away from home for some time recently, so many people have not seen Shari. Several elders were also surprised and suspicious.